Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Good Show, episode 15, we think. Not sure, it could have been 14, we don't really care. But we're officially back. It's a new month. The show's back on track, and we will continue to do so. Of course, joining me is none other than Semmler.
Small wave.
It's like when you introduce somebody, it's like, hello.
What's up, guys? Hey, they know who I am, man. It's all good. Same shirt as at the meeting, I know. I'm slacking.
Yeah, and of course we've rumbled up. What's the word I want to say? Did we rumble you guys up?
Yeah, sort of.
Feel rumbled?
Yeah.
Right, they've been rumbled up back into the studio, into their corner.
We were closer. We need to adjust this.
Oh God.
We look like dofos.
Yeah, you need to sit. I think that's. Yeah, you've got the same shaped head.
This is good.
Yeah. You've got the same shaped head. Do you know that?
It's a new camera and it's like closer, but closer.
Yeah, it's weird.
Or further.
It's massive as well. Camera.
It's huge.
All right, so that's Newman and Hellspawn. Believe it or not, despite from their intro, they actually know what's going on, and we'll be talking to them. So yeah. We've got a document to go through. We've got some upcoming stuff, some announcements that have happened in esports and all that jazz that we normally do. But of course, since we've come back from a long time, it feels a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
2.5 months, I think.
2.5 months?
Don't say 2.5 months.
No.
It really pits off all the sponsors. I'm still charging money for shows.
It's not true.
2.5 days, I
Go on
think.
holiday with that money. Huh?
2.5 days, I think.
2.5 days, yeah. Been away 2.5 days.
In a packed schedule.
Fuck.
Edit that bit out, by the way, Chance.
We don't want that on the vlogs.
Yeah, I'm dressed like it's the 90s, I don't know. I'm like some sort of skater kid wearing a short shirt over
Seriously,
a
man.
longer shirt. It's just how I'm going to roll.
Twitch brand
hello,
everywhere.
chat, everybody that's rejoining us. Yeah, as I mentioned, we've got some topics to go over, but we've also been away for a long time. So we might as well just open up the discussion. Anything that anybody wants to bring to attention. My brain isn't currently working right now. So this is Hellspawn that said, we should really have a talk about all the interesting things that have happened since we've been away. Hellspawn, your 30-minute segment starts now.
Freaking hell. I just realized in my suitcase or my
Man bag.
man bag, yeah. Man purse. I have my notes on the events that I've been to since last show that I was participating in. But I think just going by them, maybe we remember some of the stories over the last couple of months. Yeah. I think the first one was WCS Nordic Finals for me. I don't want to comment too much of it, but it was kind of cool. I think Torsten is he solidified that he's the best player in Sweden for sure. For sure, yeah. Okay.
Really?
And at that time, at least. And Baby Knight did a good impression. Same as Notissimus. Hard name to pronounce.
Shit, has it been that long?
Yeah. Yes, it's crazy,
No way.
So a cool event. Maybe not doing events in July in Stockholm is the best. It's like no people here. I don't know if you were in Stockholm City at all in July, but there were no people there.
I was just running around looting people's houses. It was great. Everyone was away.
It was crazy.
Nobody locks their door in Sweden. Yeah.
Anyway, and
after a good event, wasn't it?
You liked it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember the event. I don't remember last week.
I think Bishop didn't win.
It didn't.
No, you were there, right?
I was there. Yeah, I think I won.
Shit, this guy.
I don't know.
Where was this?
28th of July.
Yeah, and then the assembly was the next weekend, I think, or the next week.
Was it?
I think so. Assembly.
Worst recap ever.
Yeah.
But assembly one, I didn't.
Hellspawn, what else you got for us?
I didn't participate at the assembly one, so I don't know much about it. I liked what you did over online, at least.
No one cares. It's finished now. Oh yeah, thanks to our sponsors, Asus, by the way, for supporting this show.
I mean, some of the big topics this summer, I guess, is the international and the
Wait.
American regionals for
you need
League
to
of
take
Legends.
it in order now. First, it was Gamescom for my play.
No one really cares about Gamescom.
All right,
okay.
It's Germans.
Gamescom, I still love the esports at trade shows.
Apparently, Hellspawn, you're really loud. It might be his microphone chance.
I put it lower, but he's shouting, man.
Yeah, Hellspawn, you're just too excited. You need to come down a few decibels.
All right. A few decibels.
Killing people.
It's like, trans, have you solved the sound? All right. Anyway.
Yeah, but no one cares about Gamescom.
No, but it's still cool. The thing that I want to trash about
it's cool every year.
is that they had a smaller venue for the esport part. They had 2 stages, but at least the seats was not as much as they've been the last couple of years at Gamescom. They had a lot more booths with other like game developers. I don't know, it's good or bad.
Actually, Gamescom. Oh, you mean Intel Extreme Masters?
Yes,
in
of course.
General.
Yes.
Because Gamescom, there were rumors.
Switch camera.
Hellspawn, you want to sit here, don't you?
Yeah.
No.
He wants
taking
taking
over
over
this
apparently.
It was rumored that I heard a couple of people say that Gamescom might not actually happen the next year because a lot of the big publishers were pulling out. I don't think Nintendo had a booth there. I'm not sure if Sony did, and it just seemed it was getting. I don't know if it was less appealing, but
It's one of these like in between years, though. I mean, we're all waiting for the next gen consoles. I mean, Nintendo's nothing new to show. Xbox or Microsoft's got nothing new to show, I think, and so and Sony. And they're basically running the entire thing.
Okay.
So,
I think
I think that's a big reason.
a lot of developers were about to cancel, but I think they were there in the end. Maybe not Nintendo, I'm not sure. But it was packed. It was maybe not as packed as it been in 2009, 2010, but cool. Anyway, I love the League of Legends booths. They could spin around, so like they could set up backstage, and then they spun them out like the players. I love that. It was fucking the coolest thing ever. Almost.
Yeah.
What? I didn't see that.
Oh, really?
You're saying the League of Legends.
I don't think they showed us on
But
stream, did they?
Okay, the booths in the Intel Extreme Masters,
Yes.
or it was on the Intel Extreme Masters stage.
Yes.
So they spun.
So they had a 360 circle, and they divided it by the wall. And then they had one team on one side and one team on another side. And when the game was finished, they swapped around so the next team came out, like, and were already set up so they could play directly.
What the fuck?
That's quite
Yeah,
smart.
they were really cool. I didn't though get the League of Legends booth that was next to it because I don't know really what it was about.
Yeah.
But
they had actual player booths though. For
And
the
are
League of
you
Legends,
sure?
Like the 5-man player booths.
Are you sure these circles were 360?
circles are normally 360, yeah. But
Yeah.
I wanted point it out extra.
All
right.
It was not a semicircle; it was a full 360 circle.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Intel Extreme Masters doing perfect circles.
Yeah.
I think
Impressive.
the StarCraft 2 tournament in itself, it was like the most stacked ever. I think the prize money pool that the players had earned were like $1.7 million or something crazy like that. So it was more like all the big hitters were there. I think the overall hype was maybe not as much as the player pool.
Yeah, but ESL has always have a hard time hyping their tournaments for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird.
And then they had Day 9, Tasteless Artoses, and Calaris casting, so it was a good...
It's a massive player lineup, massive caster lineup, and it's weird, isn't it?
No, but it was good at the venue.
Yeah. Yes, I mean ESL always do really good events.
Yeah.
And it's weird that the community doesn't really hype it as much as they do for like an average MLG event.
Yeah. And I watched the Shootmania where Dignitas won or lost? Won?
I think it was, I don't remember.
But the
Christ.
game,
Like a
Newman.
goldfish.
the Shootmania thing, I don't know what to say about the game. It's cool, semi-cool.
Yeah, it's
but
cool.
I'm
Semi-cool,
not-
180 cool.
It's really
yeah.
cool.
Like, I look and then I take a 180 and go away from it. So,
It wasn't cool enough to do a 360. Chat
No.
said I read the 360 comments, by the way. I actually picked up on that chat when he said 360 circle. I thought
Cool.
it was an amazing description. Okay, so after Gamescom, where are we
PAX.
now in life? We're in PAX.
PAX and International.
PAX and the International. That's worth talking about.
Yeah, James was on camera a lot, doing hosting. I think that the production of the International was awesome.
Yeah, good event.
I say, goddamn, I love Dota 2. I was so fucking hooked.
So many Dota 2 fanboys in here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Even,
really
like
good.
honestly, when I used to do Dota 2 commentary, I had no fucking clue what was going on in the game. I literally just sat there with either Pycat or
Yeah, it's
Agamemnon.
a damn good thing that Pycat was here to save me.
And I was
Doing
just
jokes
like,
and stuff.
and I was just like when I don't know a name of a spell, I just call it the ulti, even if it's maybe not. No, but after the international, I learned a lot, and even our document in today's show schedule, we're competent now. Dota 2 coverage people, because we've got a much more of an interest in it. So yeah, it really did give a big buzz to the whole industry.
What about the numbers though? 508,000, was that good or bad? I mean,
it's the biggest ever esport measured or announced, at least what I know.
Concurrent. I
Yes.
know Riot didn't announce their numbers for the PAX event, but I think I saw somewhere about 900, but I'm not sure if that's correct or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
I can't confirm that at all. But if it was 900, it's crazy.
Like
crazy. It's crazy.
I don't
Half
think
of those Dota numbers were Chinese though, so that's quite interesting.
True.
Yeah.
True. I think that
We can take a look into some of the stream numbers in a moment. I actually have a document. Not a document, a website, which is quite useful, which I'll show you.
For League of Legends as well?
Yes. Should
they
we do it now?
Yes, let's
for the
do it now.
fucking sake of just doing
Yes,
it.
do it.
Fuck yes.
So I don't think they've announced their numbers officially.
It was actually more in my non-game related section, but there's a website out that I actually got linked to via an email from Twitch TV, and I'm going to bring it up, but not yet. Trance, wait for it. Did I even fucking put it in the
I
document?
don't think you did, man.
Is this
Fuck you.
GameStreams.com?
Fuck you.
Like, what the fuck?
Oh, I didn't actually put it in the document. Okay, I'm going to go through it now because I know what it
Did
is.
you just click on the fucking imager link that they've been spamming? Oh shit, that's awesome.
What happens?
Let's see it later.
Hellspawn, your Steam account, that's the new fucking image you put on it, okay?
Can you link it? So
it's so
Check the
many
chat,
of
check the
them.
chat.
oh god, just wait. Wait, okay, I'll bring up the Hellspawn's new image for his. No, that's not going to be the one. Wait a second, we want the full one. All right, Hellspawn. I don't know if you've got a preview screen. Yeah, this is your new Dota 2 profile picture.
Freaking nice.
That's amazing.
Two of the best. United at last.
Finally, our creation is complete. We're going.
the world.
All right, let me. I don't bring up my screen again, Chance. I'm going to
So-
go into my email and then just bring it up.
Let's see. You thought I started off bad, and then what's going on? Are we waiting still?
Yeah, we're waiting on something that
Yeah,
James
but you
is
guys
trying to
can
find
talk
that document.
freely.
You want me to carry on the show, or
No.
Didn't
you want it back?
Newman,
Didn't you go to PAX?
Yes.
So
You were there
I
for
saw pictures from the League of Legends event, and that looked really, really good as well.
Yeah. Of course, the actual venue was cooler for the international, but the setup and what the Riot had done was, I would say, cooler actually.
Yeah.
Like the LED screens they had in front of the teams and
that's
behind the teams, the kind of presentations they did, looked amazing. But I was only there on first day, so that was before PAX opened. So I cannot
Thursday
say.
or first day?
Yeah, both.
Oh.
For me, PAX, I really liked it. Like, so many people just go there to play different games together, like tabletop games, card games, having like, electronic games where you are moving around a lot in big circles and stuff like that. It's really seems fun.
What kind of circles, Hellspawn?
All kinds, 180s, 360s. Anyway,
Square circles.
also I was going to the Red Bull thing, and I thought that this maybe will not really be my kind of thing.
That's an interesting topic though, because I think the Red Bull thing was really overshadowed by both PAX and the international.
Well, the Red
I
Bull
don't
thing was a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I saw Greg in control there.
Yeah.
Select was
Day
there.
9 even came down to the international and sat as front row as possible to the event so he'd get on camera. I don't know, actually. But what was it? It was like Red Bull
it's a weird
2v2
pro-am
and
tournament.
you win based off community votes.
Yeah, it was really weird.
No, but I was there. So I
Well,
can
I mean,
say-
it was
You
weird.
were
Alright,
there.
Hellspawn,
Okay,
enlighten
sorry,
us,
Hellspawn.
enlighten us, please.
Break down.
So I got into
Break
this
it
venue
down.
on Saturday. It was the second or third game of the night had started. So they had games every night. I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or whatever, something like that. And from what I could tell is that they had one person from the audience going into, like, for example, in control team, and then one into Blink's team, and then they play a 2v2, and I thought, okay, the sound is really bad at the venue, was not good. I thought, like, okay, this doesn't look so cool. It's like, it was at Hyatt, a nice hotel, of course, but it was not like, you know, esport entertainment, flash cool things. It was not.
It wasn't a DreamHack production.
Anyway, then it started off the game, and I was, okay, this is maybe not so cool. Someone got in trouble. They voted from the internet. Okay, let's add this. And then just the fucking game flipped. And I was laughing for like 20 minutes. It was so entertaining. Husky and Day 9 did an awesome job. I think the gamers were really up for it to do something cool. And I love it. They had like red and blue bracelets. So the actual audience could also vote in different things during the cast. And fucking hilarious, to be honest. It was like, if we had one of those things every month in Sweden, I think it would be filled, like, you know, more people than a Barcraft. It was like so fucking entertaining. So I love it.
It was really good, was it?
Yes.
Okay. Because I only got an outside perspective where it was. I spoke to someone and they said, "Oh yeah, it was a popularity contest."
Yeah, but it was not esport in competition, but it was really a lot of fun.
But the audience enjoyed it more than going to watching a DreamHack tournament.
It's like, you know, if you're having this one of the AAA movies, which you go to the cinema, or if you're putting on a good comedy show.
All right. So,
Okay.
Because you still entertain in the same kind of way, but in a different way.
It's just a different flavor of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was so much fun.
All right.
And to go back to the international part, I just think
Yes,
that
please do.
for me, I could tell still Valve is new to doing events. I think they could have done a lot, much better. But of course, the high level overall was higher up than anything else I've seen.
Well, they got ridiculously praised. There was even an article where I was quoted saying it was like, you know, one of the best events with attention to detail and also emphasis on the players.
That was the article you read.
In an interview with is it Eric Johnson? With
Yeah, I think
on
so.
game
Yeah,
would have been GameSpot. That's where Slasher works now,
that's
right?
good.
Who
Yes.
knows where Slasher works? So you just said that you think they could have done certain things better. In Hellspawn's opinion, what is it?
Yeah, actually.
Like, I would have loved to have the casters on stage in a more focused at some points. It looked like they had added the casters on the sign, like last minute. The angle that they had the cameras, for example, was at the door, like when you went off from the stage.
I think the shot behind them was bad, but I also think putting the emphasis on the players and off the actual commentators is good.
Yeah.
Because that's why a lot of people are there. But they did put them on camera from a side shot, which was actually correct not to do a straight shot. I think a side shot was better, but what was behind them, there was a fire exit door.
It looked to me like, if you compare what they had done, the level of everything else, that looked shit in that regard.
It just stood out, basically.
If you look at what Vilat and the Shiny stream had, that looked much better. They were in one of the booths.
Yeah.
So I like that better. I think that not putting everything into one stream was a mistake. I would love to see one stream where you can get all the entertainment, maybe cutting in the players' booths, cutting in maybe the casters, cutting in the audience. Now it was, during game, it was only the in-game. And instead you had two other streams where you could see the players. So I didn't see that, like, the whole entertainment part was not maximized in that regard. And all those kind of things. I love that they started a party in the hall, like they delayed the final in 30-45 minutes, had a party in the hall, so everybody was drinking, dancing, they had a DJ and everything. You go in and see the final, in between games you go out, and then after it was a party outside in the hall. That was just, I don't know what to say, it was just so much fun. It was like, I missed it more or less, but I just felt the atmosphere of it, and I was so...
You were there for a bit, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, what?
You were at the after party for a bit, yeah?
Yeah. I was like trying to get uploads on my interviews and stuff like that. So.
Ooh, you
Fucking
party animal.
Journalist to the core, man.
America was not a good party for me. Oh, I missed MLD Rally, by the way. That's maybe how that event was, I don't know. You forget about it.
Oh, you're all meant to be friends with Sundance now. Came to Valencia and said...
No, that was harsh. I think MLD Rally, we could talk about it small. for me, the big thing was Scarlett's dominance in WCS North American finals. She's so dominant. Like, she's just destroying everything. And also cool to see the US finalist, the US champion versus Canadian champion in the against Vibe. So that was cool to me. Huck was so lucky getting 9th place, like the last spot, defeating Sappi from his team.
Again?
Yeah, like he got 10th spot in Canada, Canadian one, and then he got the 9th, so that was crazy.
So he's qualified now.
Yeah, he's qualified. For me...
Yeah, but if you look at the rally tournament, the actual MLG tournament, I don't even remember who won. It's like, wasn't it like top 8 Koreans?
No, but yeah, I think Stefano was in that, and then it was Koreans. Yeah. It was so many good games, so high potential. Like more or less all the best players, maybe except of MVP, MC, and ST or something like that was there. Maybe not Dongorgu, but was it Linok winning? I think so, against First. And but good games. But the event overall was de-hyped. And going to rally, I like it was Coast City, but nobody wanted to be there. That was the feeling I got overall from everybody. So it was a de-hyped event in that regard, which was sad.
Are you sad?
No, I'm happy.
Sad.
But of course I was expecting more.
I like this segment of the show, Hellspawn. I reckon, like, because it means that all of us could just turn up 30 minutes later. Then
this is a one-timer.
Huh?
It's a one-timer.
This is a one-off.
One time off.
I'm impressed that you just have all that memory. Like, I don't even know what day it is.
No,
I really actually don't.
that's your part of the show.
Yeah.
So then we move on. Right?
I was going to bring up the website about some of the
you found
streaming
it.
figures. This is a website called GameStreams.com, and they do streaming ratings for the whole month. So you can see the top 5 broadcasted games: League of Legends, Minecraft, World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, under World of Warcraft, but that's probably because Mr. Pandaria or Pandarian or whatever it is, and Guild Wars 2 also up there.
Wait. Can you scroll up a little bit? So it's Twitch TV, Own3D, Livestream.com, Ustream.tv, and Regame.tv.
Yeah,
But they're not doing Dailymotion then.
no one does Dailymotion.
All the French people are on Dailymotion. But
YouTube Live. Does
So
people even
we can
use
actually
YouTube
look
Live yet?
at the average
Apart from
concurrence across the board. So Riot Games on Ustream, which would have been the PAX event, correct?
Is this,
Is it month
correct
or what
month?
is it?
Yeah, September. So that would have been the PAX event, got 107. The international English commentary on Own3D got 32,000. The international on Twitch TV got 21,000. Official DreamHack stream. Oh, yeah, sorry, average concurrent, not peak, but the official DreamHack stream, 30,000. Average.
Peak is lower. You can see the peaks.
Oh, where's the peaks? Can we? Do
Scroll down.
you reckon I can go there?
If you scroll down.
Fuck you guys. Peak concurrent viewers.
concurrent.
Maybe that's more important to you,
But-
Hellspawn.
how do these people count though? So I mean, the official number from Valve is
They monitor
507.
streams.
No, they only wanted one stream, as in the actual stream.
You have
So
to
the
add
international, like Own3D and TI2.
Yeah, but there's no way if you look at the international streams, they're not going to reach 573,000.
No, of course not, because they didn't
They
take
didn't
the
monitor
Chinese
all of them, dude. They only
stream.
monitored only
Yeah.
owned and Twitch.
So it's the ones that we just mentioned above.
It's not even half though. It's like not even 100.
And also, I think that MLG use their own platform again, which probably isn't monitored here.
yeah,
What they do is interesting.
What do they do?
They use,
They do
of course,
interesting
free.
stuff.
We will get to it later, I guess, but they use Twitch TV for the pay-per-view. Then they have their own stream at the championships with Twitch and owned. Then at MLG Rally, it was a little bit, I don't know, I didn't really understand,
was owned
but it was a
only.
shift there at least.
Yeah.
So Own3D was, for example, promoted in the fall season arenas more than the Twitch one. And now at the MVP Invitationals, as actually Own3D's pay-per-view system and not Twitch. So there's a shift. I think if you go back to the stats, we didn't really talk about them that much. I think for me, concurrent is just such a shit measure. Like I don't like concurrent or concurrent peak or concurrent average.
Yeah, but unique. I mean, what you would like better? Unique viewers over like a weekend. So a unique viewer.
Actually, he's right in so many ways, because when you actually go to advertisement agencies and stuff, and you go, we have this many concurrent viewers. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know, but
they
I
just
mean,
don't work in that
how do you
number.
count unique viewers though? It's a unique viewer.
But I think it does
saw the
matter.
ad in 1 second of a stream.
Go on, Trans. You got
I
your mic.
think they should look at uniques for once, but also average viewing time.
Yeah.
Yes,
That should be, in my opinion, the most important
Yeah.
one. Average viewing time.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
Which the longest average viewing time event was Asus ROG.
42 minutes, if I recall correctly,
Kicking the
or
ass
something.
of these DreamHack
That was huge. Yeah.
people.
What?
I don't know. Nothing, Hellspawn. I love currents.
It's pretty.
That's the
timely.
only thing you can see. That's the only thing at home you can measure on your own.
Yeah.
So
But in the statistics,
Worth
when
something.
you report them to agencies, they really don't do the like concurrence. They don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good tell though. This website, Game Streams, if you just want to see like what's hot, what's doing well, who's broadcasting a lot, like broadcast time. You can see IGN Pro League up there with 29 days, 18 hours broadcasted in 1 month. What?
Yeah, but they're on all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, but that's all their rebroadcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's how you run.
That's
a
almost
business.
a TV channel, basically.
We need to start doing rebroadcasts, Trans. I want more. I want the Good Studio to have more days broadcasted than there was in the month.
Yeah, it should be possible. Or not.
I don't know how to do that.
With 2 streams.
What we do
but I guess
is-
you can't do 2 streams.
We only do marathons like the Diablo 3 one with you, Hellspawn. You have to quit your job with
Right.
Fiji, and then we just stream on 5 different streams. So then we'll have like 5 months of broadcast time. We do 1 month game marathons.
Yeah, but it's going to be 5 different streams though, in the charts.
No, because we tell the people at Game Streams to add them together, like do a 360 circle with all the streams under this name.
I think this is a circle.
Of
What,
life.
no, what is it called in Swedish?
Circle
say-
jerk.
Yeah. Cirkelresonemang. I don't know what it's called in English actually. You know, you started
it's
at
a
one point and then you
never-ending-
got back to the same point again.
Almost like a never-ending argument. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's
Never
move on.
end, but
Let's
it's
move
not
on.
circle included in it. So I don't like it. Anyway,
Okay. I don't know. But you can check out that website. It's pretty good. Keeps you informed in some ways. So there you
circle
go.
logic.
It's really good for trends, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how exact the stats are, but I guess it's really good for like watching trends for games and
Yeah,
streamers.
there's top new channels and biggest
Yeah.
gainers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They've got in
it's
their
interesting.
reports. There you can see top new channels. NASL season 4.
Up in the furthest left corner was something I didn't understand. There, no, go down the first bar of measure.
Unique channels.
No, go down. There, game streams rank.
They do a rating.
Explain how they rank.
Yeah,
Explain somewhere.
yeah. I think they do a rating
You
based on
rank
the
top.
total.
You rank
I can click this.
It's probably
What do these
relative.
numbers mean?
Probably your viewers relative to other viewers, or the stream's viewers, or something like that. I don't know.
I don't get it. I guess I have to visit this site.
You should visit it.
It's nice.
And we can have a 30-minute breakdown
Oh,
next
can you
week.
scroll up to the top again?
Yes. Do you want me to check your email or your Hot or
No,
Not
but
account?
this GS logo looks really similar to something else.
Yeah, I recognize it as well.
Game stream or something like that.
No, it's the bigger channel, which is like
The ones on YouTube, right?
G4.
G4, yeah, the G4
Yeah,
thingy.
G4.
G4 TV.
Who's behind this site? Do they have any contacts?
Yes, maybe. Let's go down to the bottom.
Contact us.
Contact us.
Oh, that's bad.
Here we go.
Oh, you're gonna get spammed.
Doesn't matter.
He's got like 5,000 unread messages anyway.
He's up to 7 now.
7.
It's all square to me.
The silence.
Pie charts.
So what
Yes, I'm going that way!
I think James is a bit loud. Can you
Yeah,
games?
I don't know if I should
You're gonna-
capitalize
you're gonna-
pie charts.
you shouldn't, but you're going to repeat charts twice in the same sentence.
Oh,
Fucking-
am I?
Your teacher would be
Excuse
frowning at
me,
you right now, mate.
Oh, I capitalized but after... Oh, I don't care. I'm just going to just write it like a spastic. Excuse me, but you're right.
Which is not far
Like
from the truth.
circles of the 360 kind. Would you consider doing more charts of data presented in pie
Pie format.
format?
There you go.
I love pie.
Hellspawn loves pie. And circles. Kind regards, James Harding.
So finally
It's gonna be
crafted
error.
now.
Oh, success! Ching ching!
All right.
Well done.
Well, that's really going to answer a lot of questions about who's behind the website, but we'll find out when they contact me about pie chart situation.
Cool.
Um,
Should we go on?
yes,
So after the
let's-
international and stuff,
please
nothing
do
has
this.
really happened. The Valencia Congress thingy.
Oh, sorry.
Nothing. I mean, nothing of interest has happened.
No, of course not. No, after the international, that was about it.
Okay.
We were in the Globe also. That was kind of neat. I think that event turned out really good. Was some problems?
Did you sell out?
Wait. What are you talking about now? Let's just recap because
The
I was thinking about
the
pie.
WCS European finals in the Globe Arena.
Europe
Yes.
finals.
Europe finals, European finals, European finals.
Yeah,
That's a lot better.
why would they call it Europe finals
Yeah.
and not European?
Yeah, it sounds
It's
retarded.
because it's the Sweden nationals and not Swedish nationals. That's just how they label it, I guess.
Really?
It's weird,
Americans.
isn't it?
Like, why would you call like WCS America finals?
But
Doesn't
it's
that
like
sound-
it was not the Canadian nationals; it was the Canada nationals.
I just found that word
Sounds weird.
Although Stefano is the European champion,
No,
No, he's the
No.
Europe champion.
he's
No.
the Europe champion, obviously.
he's the European champion.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it
No,
was
I
really.
disagree.
I mean, I only spent like an hour or two there, but from that time I spent, they looked really, really good. From a spectator point of view,
Yeah, it turned out good. I think.
yeah,
I like
it looked a bit empty sometimes, but I guess that's because I was there the first day as well, and not during the finals and stuff.
It's always hard. I mean, it's always hard to have people on their seats for like 12 hours or something like that. Ain't gonna happen.
But how close were you to like selling out all of the tickets?
All right, so where are we going now?
Selling out the tickets. Yeah, we had a good number of sales.
Yeah, because it looked really good. I mean,
Yeah,
must have
yeah.
sold at least 3,000 or 4,000, something like that.
I don't know if we have released the numbers actually on it.
How many did you sell tickets?
I can't say if we haven't released it.
Is it more than
Doesn't
4?
matter, Hellspawn.
Huh?
More than 4? I mean, you can say that like approximate.
I don't know, to be honest.
If you were to count each cell as approximately one full 360 circle, which then wouldn't be releasing your information, how many 360 circles attended WCS in ticket sales?
I don't know, actually.
So you were just avoiding the question because you don't know. But no, you're covering up, you don't know. God damn it, Hellspawn.
Yeah.
Genius.
I think we're gonna. I don't know if we're gonna release or if we have released. I don't think we have. I think we might do.
It was a big risk though, booking the Globe, and it kind of. I hope it paid off.
It's not a
It
big
looked
risk,
like it
though,
did.
for you to book the Globe, because you have a very good deal with the ticket people behind the Globen.
No, we have a partnership with the Stockholm Globe.
Yeah, but still, I
Release.
mean, you still have to pay for it. And
yes,
I mean,
of course. It's a really expensive venue.
Yeah.
Yep, and it was DreamHack.
It was Saturday,
sorry,
Sunday as well.
Blizzard's
It's really
budget.
expensive.
Yes, it was a Blizzard event. We organized it.
I'm guessing it was around $100,000 a day.
Sounds cheap. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a massive arena.
it's a massive arena.
Saturday, Sunday.
I'm guessing it was 1 million SEK a day.
He said a day, not overall.
A day.
Yeah, that's probably closer.
And I think I'm close.
I think it's a good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's expensive.
Yes.
Thank you, Blizzard.
No, but No, but I think it's a good guess. That's all I can say. But it turned out really good. I think the numbers and the hype coming into it was bigger than I expected. I think actually the line between having, now we go into that bad measure, but 30,000 concurrent and 100,000 concurrent as a peak is kind of slim. Like, a few stuff has to go right in the global hype, and if it does, you get a shit ton of viewers. And I think that people liked it. I know. And I think that we have had higher viewing times than we have had in our other events.
Okay, great.
I think.
What was your... Okay, God. Okay.
Yeah, so
maybe
that,
next week you'll bring us some statistics. All right, okay, so...
But
it was good.
One really cool thing about the event was that, living in Sweden, you really got a lot of mainstream attention as well.
Yes.
A lot of the morning shows, a lot of the papers, a lot of the really random papers as well wrote about it. It's really cool.
Actually, the Minister of Culture opened a segment about what they're going to do in the future, what they direction want to go, and she started actually with mentioning this event.
Yeah. And your fucking posters are still plastered all around town.
Ah, that's perfect.
Looks like shit.
That's not my
That's
fault.
because they don't officially pay them. They don't officially go through a poster company to put them up. They probably just give them to some guy.
They do.
Guerrilla tactics.
It's Bullboy, yeah.
No, I reckon it's Robert from DreamHack.
Minister of Trade?
Because Robert hasn't got a driving license.
Robert
right now,
says he
had
was
it taken away.
Minister of Trade and not of Culture. Sorry, so it was even bigger.
Robert from DreamHack, can you please go around Stockholm and take down the posters of the WCS Europe finals on your way to work? Because it looks like shit, right?
Yeah.
Looks like shit, Robert.
Nah, it's cool.
It was cool, Stefano. He did that kid is fucking amazing, to be honest. Like, he got stuck in LA. I think he had a 40-hour travel or something like that. He comes to the event. Okay, in one regard, he's a noob. He didn't have his jersey and his equipment in his backpack. It's like, how the hell can you put it in your luggage? That's just insane to me, actually.
Yeah, it's really
but
stupid.
he borrowed stuff and he played and he defeated everybody. He slept, just because he was undefeated, he could sleep extra time because of the winner lower bracket system. He slept for like 13 hours, come back, just defeats everybody again. It's like, for me,
But that's
that kind of achievement that he did, impressive. I cannot say anything else.
It's a
like
really
that.
good mentality to have, and in some ways, the greatest thing about Stefano and what can make him so good is that he doesn't care what happens outside the game. Because look at TLO, okay? So TLO's gone a very extreme. So TLO, I'm not criticizing you, but I'm going to tell your story. So TLO is somebody that is constantly wanting to get better with his gameplay and how he performs in tournaments. Now, we at Twitch TV, which I also represent in Europe, we brought over Martin the Masseur. What's happening?
No, I'm just pointing at your shirt.
Oh, yeah. We brought over Martin the Masseur. Martin the Masseur is a sports physio, works with, Great Britain's cycling team and Red Bull downhill mountain bike team and stuff. And he worked on TLO, and he gave TLO some great advice on terms of posture and all that other stuff. But he also can work with people's mindsets. So TLO is also, like, he's put a lot of emphasis on what's happening outside the game before the game starts. And so at DreamHack Valencia, he actually had a sports physio from Ireland come over and be with him. And he was just basically telling me, like, TLO was like, he's like, I'm in a really good mood. I'm in a great mood. But unfortunately, he gets knocked out by Hero, his teammate. I'm not sure what round it was, maybe round of 16 or 32. But there's a lot of emphasis on what's happening outside the game for that particular player. And I spoke to Sase and I gave him some advice, and I was like, and he was also a little bit annoyed at Asus ROG that something was happening outside of the game that was annoying him. And I was like, look, when you sit down and play, that's the only moment where you actually can be in control of a situation. Like everything before the game, when you sit down, just know that you're not in control of it, and whatever happens, you know, it doesn't matter, because when you sit down, that's when it matters. When you sit down, that's when your training kicks in, that's when you have to focus, and that's when you're completely in control, and it's up to you to lose or win. And Sase was really nice and said thanks for the advice, because that's how I used to play. But Stefano is one of the great reasons I think he's great, is because he has that mentality already. He's like, I've lost my luggage, I'm drunk, I'm wearing shades in a dark room.
Right.
I'm getting maybe either, you know, really nice feedback from fans or getting harassed. You know, it's like there's so much that can happen. But when he sits down, he just plays, and he's in control of where he is, or where he's meant to be in control of the situation. And that's exactly what he showed us at WCS Europe. And I think a lot of players within StarCraft 2 still have a lot to learn on in terms of controlling how they perform in tournaments, because I see so many people that are really good at training don't perform so well, some people that aren't so good at training and perform really well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I think that aspect is not considered that high in the general public, because I mean people talk about the day-to-day shape, but these kind of things are something that you can control, so you never have a bad day.
Yes.
You have the right kind of mentality. I would say to TLO that I met him in the lobby before the tournament. I picked him up. I think I helped him to get into the venue in some regard.
Valencia.
TLO?
Yeah, in Valencia.
In Valencia.
Yeah.
To me, he said, I've asked him, like, just out of curiosity, how is your shape? He said, I've never been this good as I feel at this moment. And I think, like you said, that this has helped him, and I think that he just got into a really hard group and got knocked out. But hero, like you said.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, even saying I've never been in this good shape, you can't have that mentality when you go into a game, because if you think you're going to perform better than your previous performances, you go into a game and you literally just have to think, I haven't played good until I've played good at this tournament, and I'm not going to win until I'm going to win. But I know I can win, I just have to control the game.
Or you feel superior and going to destroy the guy.
Yeah, but that sometimes just leads to bad situations and decisions. But anyway, we're not talking about that. So
this is all discussion in any state.
Yeah, but it's really interesting. So Stefano is one of these people that's one of his traits, to be such a great gamer, and he showed something that maybe people haven't seen from him before, which was that ability.
I think the difference is a complete lack of pressure on himself, because he knows he's not going to stay in this for long. He's making as much money as he can before he gets out, so he's just living the life, having a fun time, and this is a vacation for him. Whereas other competitors out there, this is their calling, this is what they're putting their time into, so they have that added pressure that they have to deal with.
I don't agree at all.
I don't know.
I think that's the source of it, is that Stefano just doesn't give a shit. And TLO definitely does. But
yeah, it's about
putting
pressure on himself as well.
No, Stefano, he's buying Gucci glasses and shit like that.
Do you know what he's actually doing with his money? Do you know what he's actually doing with his money?
All right, what is he actually doing?
He's investing it in real estate.
Yeah, that's a smart move, man.
Depends on where you invest.
That sounds like a troll. But
no, he fucking is.
What else would you do with that kind of money? You're going to put it into. You're going to invest it to get a return on it.
Yeah, Stefano basically wants to have like a really nice life. So all the money he's winning, he's actually investing, and I think his auntie is one of the people that's actually taking his money and buying apartments. So he's actually buying a place in Paris. It's one of his first property investments, and he's going to continue to do that. So by the end of the event, Stefano's going to have lots of apartments.
That sounds cool.
Didn't you see that picture on Twitter? He's like, hey, check out my new pad. And he took a pic, and it's like the Eiffel Towers right there. So I'm like, okay, cool.
No, I missed it, sorry.
I don't know how much he's worth, Faz, but apparently, he's getting an apartment in
tournament winnings alone, he's around 180.
Yeah.
He has won the most prize money this year in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, but he hasn't been in a big team, like, up until now.
Right,
so
but that's what he's doing. I'm not saying how much they're worth, if it's going to be feasible, but yes, he's looking into that. So,
it's a smart decision.
That was our recap. Should we just do a recap over? Anybody else want to add anything to the recap?
It's the Valencia thing, but
the Congress, maybe, something. I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah, it was nice. It wasn't that. I mean, nothing.
Congress,
I mean, if you're in the industry, there's nothing new. I think the big thing was the people who were actually talking, and we were discussing stuff outside of the Congress as well. So that's a big thing.
I basically think the Congress, everything that was said on camera, the biggest part of shit ever. Off camera, when they actually spoke normally, was what was interesting.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for the people that were watching and wanted to get something interesting out of the panel, roughly less than 20% was interesting.
Yeah, but most of the people that were watching wasn't like really inside the business as well, like you and me. So there's a lot of new stuff there as well.
That you have to take into account,
The only panel that was really good for me was the advertisement panel with Simon from CBSI. That was the panel for me that was like, that's interesting, because it's an outside perspective on how they're looking into us. And they were very honest and they were very open. The panel where you had all the megalomaniacs from all the events was like no one really wanted to say anything about the industry and what was important, because it also would tell people what they think as where they're going to take their business.
That was really apparent during
so it was and Robert made some Nazi jokes to Ralph Reichardt, which was...
What did he say? I think I missed that.
He mentioned something about his little moustache or something, but no one caught it on camera. But that's just Robert. And I think Alex Garfield was very good on his panels.
Yeah, it was really good as well.
But Zero Gravity was a genius in his one.
Which one was he on the game?
Yeah, and he was just destroying everybody.
No, I left that panel, I was angry. I thought no one on that panel had a fucking clue. Even Zero Gravity, I was like, you get it a bit, but you don't really get it. Like, he had questions that were above them, but in terms of, like, they weren't thinking on that level of someone that was really deep in the industry. But even him himself was like, he was a good representation, but I was like, there was a spare chair at the end. I was literally like, I so want to be on that chair just next to Dustin Browder so I can turn to him and say, hey man, I'm a big fan of yours, you know, I loved your performance in The Scorpion King. And then continue a discussion and actually really go into detail. But I actually don't want to, because I'm actually going to be making an esport game, and if I sat there and just said, no, that's this, then I'd just be giving them all these ideas, and they're not my competitors apart from maybe a couple.
Maybe next year I'll be on the panel.
But yeah, so I actually left that panel angry. I literally sat through the panel and I had to leave because I was just
waiting for you to walk up and like smack mics around and shit like that. Be like, this is all bullshit, and like walk out.
But it's really arrogant of me to say that way. But honestly, if you had someone there from Valve, they would have actually maybe not have had all the right ways of like. Where the industry is going to go, but they would have had the right philosophies. The problem is like they were all saying like, oh yeah, esports is very important, but what they're really saying is esports is hot shit right now, so we're going to acknowledge it, even though in Blizzard's past history, esports and their department and also the percent of users that actually are esport players is so small that they don't actually justify taking design changes to the design team in older games like World of Warcraft, etc. StarCraft 2 is a little bit of a different story, but it's still not where they should be. I mean, Battle.net, I think Red Eye once said Battle.net, you know, that we all love. I just think Battle.net's a big pile of shit. It's really underdeveloped in terms of what it could be.
It's hindering the growth of StarCraft, I think. Battle.net.
Yeah. There's so many things that could be done with that, but
I think if Valve was on that panel, I think the discussion would have taken another.
Yes, if Valve were on that panel, they would have had a lot of philosophy ideas that would have opened up and sparked a much better. I mean, there's even.
I think it's funny that everybody is saying where is Valve, where is Riot. No one mentioned, for example, where's Capcom? They brought the biggest esport titles over the years to Capcom.
Street Fighter.
Like Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You'd see that as the biggest title, though? Oh, whatever. This is just wording, anyways.
I mean,
maybe top
the
5.
industry has been maybe the strongest over all these years.
But that's the thing, is like but they can't bring Capcom because the fighting game actually don't consider themselves esports, and Capcom is one of the companies that's provided the least amount of support for its scene. You know,
or
much
EA or who else. I don't think it was only Valve or Riot missing or not wanting to show up or whatever.
Some of those developers bought themselves into it as well, so it's.
And I would say,
what was that random game? Something with H, like Hexagon or something. Hawken.
But that's a really fucking cool game.
Yeah, but they were a sponsor of the thing as well, so that basically bought their spot.
It was quite a lot of sponsors.
Were a sponsor of the thing.
It was a lot of gaming, and some of the sponsors was not attending, some of them were attending. That was not the purpose of it, I would say, at all. But to me, I would say, for example, not to be bashing on Valve, but I mean, before they acquired Dota 2, or started to do Dota 2, to me, it seems like they didn't know anything about esports, because when they brought in players and brought in managers and people from the industry of Counter-Strike for developing CSGO, like, they said, okay, we don't know anything about this. And if you ask Gabe Newell, he always claims that he doesn't really know so much about this. So I would say Valve putting a lot of interest into esports is kind of new. And
Yeah,
also,
it is.
one of the
That's very
developers, I mean, where was id Software? I mean, Quake.
This is the problem with this Congress thing, though. It's just a show. There was no way that they were going to get everybody involved in the
Exactly,
in the scene.
but why were everybody just saying where's Valve and Riot? I mean, to me, they are the newcomers in esports.
Yes, but they're in charge of some of the biggest influential
games.
current
And
games.
you mean Capcom ain't?
Not really.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
if you
but like
look
not
at
as much, in my opinion, as currently Dota 2 and League of Legends, because of the events that it's going to attend and who it supports, or in terms of a larger, not even audience's viewership, but also a larger business to business. They have a big stake in terms of, okay, so my business is in what I do here. Within event production spawns from the ability to be able to work with people like DreamHack, even MLGs and stuff, with either commentators and stuff. So my business is a part of where other people are working and doing well. And then their business is based off the developers, which is who the people that I always consider to have maybe the most benefit and responsibility within esports outside of maybe the community, who I think, have a lot of power when they actually...
I think one of the main reasons people want Valve there was because they're really relevant in esports right now. They're really pushing stuff as well.
Yeah.
Activision. If you compare them to id Software, I mean, id Software is irrelevant at the moment.
Sean,
Quake is
what
relevant.
are you doing down here?
Helping him.
You're not helping Trance. There's nothing you could help Trance with. You're just a caster, Sean.
So to me, it just kind of annoyed in that regard. And I mean, the same with Activision and with the Call of Duty series, same with Microsoft and Halo. I mean, aren't they big esport publishers?
MLG.
Yeah. You can't get everyone though, but I mean, this is a really, I don't know, weird topic.
Yes, it is. But I just think it was, okay, to sum it up, it was the first esports congress. For me, underwhelming. I got very angry. I didn't want to actually speak to many of the people afterwards, just based off what some of them said on panel, because I just kind of were like, okay, that's great. I'm a bit of a twat and a dick, so
well, if you haven't picked up on that yet, what the fuck are you watching this show for?
Don't give a fuck. I got in a fight, and I mentioned it last time. I got in a verbal fight with Simon from wargaming.net talking about esports. He was from World of Tanks. That some of his claims were outrageously stupid, and I got in a fight with him in front of ex-Blizzard employees and stuff at a table where I was just like, you have absolutely no idea. He claimed that like GOM TV averages on like 1 million concurrents for its GOMs, and it's the biggest, and how Brood War was the birth of esports. I don't know. I was just like...
It sounds like one of these random Team Liquid
It was just like one of these people that was getting information without actually having the information. So I'd ask him questions, and I'd already know the answers, and he would just give me... And then he was actually just arguing with me for the sake of he didn't like me anymore, which I enjoyed. And then I just went off somewhere else. So it was... Everyone at the table thought I was a bit of a twat. I was just like, I got so angry. I couldn't help it. I was just like, please don't come into this industry with this kind of conception on what you think is what's happening, because you will fail. So go make World of Planes and fly in the sky where apparently your head is right now.
They're doing
they're doing great, but it was, And then I decided, fuck it, I'm leaving this table because I've caused a very awkward situation. So I went for a smoke. Then I came back and sat with Sam Matthews, and that was also a bit weird. Because I used to work for him a long time ago.
Was he still wearing his pink shorts?
Huh?
Was he still wearing his pink shorts?
I don't know. But he told me not to make Reborn. He said I had a 1% chance of success, and I've already done something really great within esports in terms of what I've got, and I'm good on camera. And he said, don't make Reborn. And I was like, fuck you, dude.
Well,
I'm gonna make Reborn.
1% is good in the gaming market.
I'm like,
so.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
What?
Well, 1% chance is good in the gaming market.
Dudes, 1% is all I need.
Yep.
So, that was actually, I really enjoyed the whole event. It was fun. And the first panel, I will say this, that the next panel will probably blow it out of the water because hopefully things get better in esports over the next year as well, and people will actually have a more intelligent discussion.
All in all, it's a good initiative.
It's a good initiative.
It's a good initiative.
It's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that matters.
I just like that the people that were there were there. That was cool.
Dude, are you going to turn down a fucking vacation in Valencia? Come on.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the word.
You don't know what it
vacation,
means.
so I don't know what it means.
Working at DreamHack, slave house,
Yeah.
Living the dream.
slave
Okay.
labor.
So, that was my rant. Newman, you've still got yours in store.
I do.
Semmler, you can rant later.
Sweet.
And
I
then
have
should we
just
go to
babbled,
break?
so
Should we go
I'm
to
sure
a
we
quick
go to
break?
break?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
just take a
start the
quick
show then. Maybe.
Sorry?
Huh?
Let's
Let's
start.
start the show after.
Maybe, yeah, now-
the
Yeah,
that we've
so
talked about
that
for
was
an hour.
that was a recap of us just talking. Hopefully you guys, I'm not even sure if this is a good or bad show. I don't know how to judge, but I guess whatever, doesn't
see.
matter. It's a good show in the name, so technically it must be great.
Semmler versus the chat, man. Lactose 01. I'm fucking itching for it, man.
What?
Let's take a break. Let's take a break, yeah.
Trans, talk into your microphone. You can direct the show from now on. Put the
Let's
camera on you,
I want
Trans.
to put the camera on. So
Put
let's
the
take
camera
a
on you,
break.
Trans.
Smoke.
Put the camera
Put
on.
the camera on you.
Come on.
Camera, Trans.
Hey, Trans!
Hey!
Alright, so we're gonna take a break, smoke, and then we're gonna wrap up this week. What's happened past week, right? And then talk some more bullshit, and then we end the show. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Do we have to smoke, Trans?
I want to smoke. Oh, you don't have to. Right, you quit. He's like, I'm gonna quit smoking, guys. And it's like, from 7 or 8 a day, he goes to like, what was it again? You said, oh yeah, I'm
7
just
or
gonna
8.
have 1. And then the next day he's like, oh, I had 4 today. And the next day he's like, oh, I'm up to 5.
No.
You just don't quit.
No.
man. Just let
Afterwards, it was just
let
like,
it go.
I'm cutting back.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I'm not.
It's
No,
the
fuck you
thought.
guys. Fuck everybody.
Thought that counts.
Fuck everybody. Because 7 or 8, like, that's an underestimate. It was 7 or 8 packs a day. Okay? So that's a big difference.
It's a fucking huge difference.
Okay? And I'm just going to take up drugs.
No, why not? Why stop
That's
now?
gonna go
Which
real well.
flavor helps?
So, yeah, whatever, guys. And let's go to a break. Welcome back to The Good Show, episode 15, powered by Asus. Yeah, so we're going to get into the news now. Thanks for staying with us. Probably one of the most... that was even the hardest recap to follow. It was a good recap. Yeah, for all the viewers out there, I'm sorry it was not so coherent. If you want to watch something coherent, Live on 3 will be later today.
They won't be recapping anything, though.
Huh?
They won't be recapping anything, though.
No, but they're
Oh.
just coherent as a broadcast.
They're on script, basically.
All right, so let's go into some games and what's been going on. We can start with Dota 2, since normally our Dota 2 segments were rubbish, but I'd like to think we're going to get considerably much better.
Worse.
I don't know anything about Dota at this point, I think.
Really?
Well, you played a game of Dota.
Yeah, you were just
yesterday.
saying
You were just
earlier.
saying you had your best game of Dota.
Yes, that's
What
true.
What did you
What
play?
did you play?
I was playing Lifestealer. Nix!
What'd you do?
I jungled. I farmed. Is it? I don't know. Then I got stacked and I killed stuff. And I won.
Can we download the replay anywhere? We might do,
I hope
we
not.
might do a learn to play analysis.
No, wait. Yep.
What's your account name on Steam?
I don't know.
I don't know. All right, we'll look for that. All right, then, so Dota 2. Do you want to start us off? You wrote most of Dota 2 stuff. Is that okay? Because when I say we're going to get better, I actually meant like you just wrote a lot, and I thought it must have been good, but I haven't read any of it.
Of course.
So
I
Dota
don't
2
know if we
people.
want to start with this first.
Here we
Let's
go.
down.
Semmler.
Hold on, just adjusting the document. We're so
Well, I
fucking
mean,
on top of this.
recapping Dota since last show, it's still a mess. I mean, after the international.
Mess, but that's what
You
we
say
expected.
that every
Yeah.
week.
But that's what we
It's still
expected
a-
after the international. We
Yeah,
expected all these
yeah.
teams to
What's,
switch
I mean,
around.
what's your take on that, though? When all the teams like basically reshuffle after one event, a big event?
Welcome to team games. Been like that since 1996.
No, I mean, I think Dota is worse than other games. I mean, if you look at CS, they
know.
kind of change a couple of players here and there, but
You mean just that you as a team
Well, actually,
has found a
How
player
are-
that you
yeah,
can
but-
trust?
I actually thought about this. I actually thought about this
No.
today. I had a thought. Bear with me, bollocks. So my thought was that Dota 2 was and is messier in terms of players changing than Counter-Strike ever was.
No.
Hellspawn.
yes, it is. Doesn't have to be a bad thing, though. But yeah.
But I personally think that it's easier to fit someone in your Dota 2 lineup than it is to fit someone in your Counter-Strike lineup.
Agree.
Because of how you have to execute your tactics. And when you get someone who can play a good support, you can be like, can you play support for us? And they're like, yeah, I'm a great support. And that's why we get all these stand-ins for teams across all the leagues, etc. within Dota 2. But it's like, that's so much harder to do in Counter-Strike, because Counter-Strike you have to practice your strats. Who throws the first grenade, second grenade, who walks around the corner first, why you're doing it, what weapons, what tactic you're trying to perform. And I actually think that was superior. And so I think it's harder to fit people in Counter-Strike. I also think Dota 2 obviously has that element where the International really just wanted teams that were
Stable.
together and
Yeah.
stable. And so it was obvious that it was all going to change afterwards. And
It's-
I don't know what happens.
It's a quite interesting comparison between League of Legends
You saw
Why are
it?
you laughing?
Funny picture.
between League
Fun picture. Can you want to have, I want the fun picture.
Fucking hilarious, to be honest.
Okay, so
I think it's
let's go into the Dota 2 recap after my thought.
It's an interesting comparison, though, between Dota 2 and League of Legends. I mean, the number of team switches. If you look at League of Legends, none of the top teams are switching players that often. And it's the same type of game.
What
it's
is?
interesting. League of Legends and Dota, it's MOBA games, basically, or team
It's because there's
RTSs.
more money on the line. You don't want to change your
Well,
team
because
if you're doing well.
the requirements to have someone to play in your League of Legends team just is limbs, are they level 30, and can they stand 5-man mid 10 minutes into the game and then exchange blows, which any monkey could do. And in Dota, you're actually looking for people with skill, because that's what the game requires. So you obviously are going to have to exchange a lot more players
It's the
around.
same old Dota 2 is deeper.
You know,
arguments.
able-bodied people make League of Legends playable at a
But James,
at a
you as a
professional level.
monkey, why are you not in Los Angeles winning $2 million?
Exactly.
Monkeys don't need $2 million. I've got a banana.
Bananas.
tree.
2 million bananas you can get from.
I just think it's an interesting comparison.
Well, actually, considering that, fuck you, Hellspawn. Okay, I'm going to come back to this, right? I am a monkey, right?
Are you talking what?
So I'm going to try and prove this theory correct. Why are you crying? That's not even that funny. Not the monkey comment, but your
No, but I
comparison.
was. I take it off camera, I think. No, but you on stage acting like a monkey? No, I don't want to be a monkey anymore. I'm gonna go and develop a game.
So what I'm actually going to do, right? I'm going to try and prove the monkey theory. Okay. I'm trying to convince Faz and Fox to enter the IPL $100,000 tournament with me.
Ah, cool. Shoot me now.
Shoot Mania. Under the name Need Money for Reborn.
It's fucking brilliant again.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the best idea ever. I just need to get Fox on board, and then we three abled monkeys will try and attempt within 2 weeks to enter the European qualifiers for IPL's $100,000 tournament, held on the 15th to the 19th of this month, and then hopefully go to the finals in LA or wherever it is. Vegas.
I like it. But Puppies claimed at some show, I don't know which one it was, or interview, that he wanted to try to go for League of Legends after last international.
Who?
Played Dota 2 and League of Legends. Puppy from Navi.
Yeah.
And not to be like that, but I think that if they had put the same dedication as they have done in Dota in the past into League of Legends,
They would be richer.
I think they could have won, both tournaments.
But the biggest... Okay, quote from Grubby, I think.
Okay.
He said something like, my greatest skill is my love
that's
for the game.
Yeah.
And that really is.
Yeah,
like
that's
if you want to get good at a game, you need to enjoy playing it. And I just don't think a lot of people from Dota 2 could enjoy the step to League of Legends.
But you love challenges, though, as a person.
Yeah, but you need to enjoy the game to be really good at it.
If you're going to sink that much time,
It's the same way. That's the way it goes basically.
All right, so our Dota 2 recap's gone to shit, by the way.
Now we jumped over
So
to
then-
Mania. You jumped the gun on
You have to
the Mania
finish the Dota
announcement.
2 versus
Focus,
League of
just
Legends
fucking
thing.
focus.
You have to finish that thing. I think
Sorry?
to finish the Dota 2 versus League of Legends thing, I think Cormac wrote a really nice blog about it.
Carmack.
And on his Tumblr. Yeah, it's really good. So we should probably link that or something. I don't know.
Where-
Could you sum it up for us?
Yeah, where is this?
Sum up the
It's
blog.
basically comparing the Dota 2 with deeper and more higher skill level debate.
Well, League of Legends players say to me, Dota 2 is more skillful.
Yeah.
But it's not saying that League of
he's
Legends
comparing
isn't-
that to Quake versus Counter-Strike in the old days. And he's
But it's not...
basically listing a couple of really good arguments.
Okay, but it's not saying that League of Legends isn't an esport game. It's a competitive game, but it's just not one that I care about because I'm much more into, higher skill cap games. Okay, you raised your hand to talk. That's really polite.
I want to just add
Like
one
in
thing that... so, I said it somewhere before, but... first game I watched was Han in the MOBA. First game I played was League of Legends, and first game I got in love with was Dota 2. But I must say, playing League of Legends was more fun than Dota for me, because when I started the first, let's say, 20 hours I played on League of Legends, I felt that I could improve and I got to understand what I was doing. After playing 200 hours of Dota 2, I'm still like this scrub new. And playing other games in the past, competing, it's like, hard to my ego to be such an extremely bad player in Dota 2. Even though I watch a lot of games, I understand it when I see it, but when playing it, I'm like, completely rubbish. So, League of Legends is a fucking good game.
It's
all I can say.
It's a culture. It's a culture of instant gratification. Do you want to get, you want to get that good feeling immediately, or do you want to work for it? And we're sadly living in a culture now where it is instant gratification that's going to win out in the end. That's just the flat of it. That's how LoL has done so well. It's because they've given everything to their players. They've made it as easy and as accessible as possible, and that's why it's so massive.
Both of the games are
James.
really good, and it's really good that they're competing as well for our community. So
it's great.
No.
It's growing esports. You can't fault that.
Yeah, it's good. Hopefully they stay kind of equal for a while and keep growing.
Yep, I agree.
What?
Let's go to the actual recap of Dota. What happened? All right, come on.
Trance is telling us all we
Give me
have to
some
do.
results.
No,
Some teams.
Trance
Yeah.
directing the show. We now have to
He's
talk
the
about some
producer.
Dota 2
Yeah,
stuff.
All right. Stick to the document.
Let's go. This is you.
Yes.
This is the worst comeback show ever, man.
Oh, dude, this is exactly what people were expecting. This is what they wanted.
No, they
We're
didn't.
fucking giving it in spades right now. All right, so whatever. Next topic is Dota 2 could be the next pickup by MLG for the pro circuit. It is Game Battles that have picked it up along with CSGO and League of Legends. That's, I guess, the thing that I saw. It's been announced a couple days ago where they're going to be holding a season that's going to span over a couple months, wrapping up in January or beginning of January. But that's actually some pretty big news because, League of Legends has been the banner MOBA game for MLG for the longest time now.
Well, the interesting thing about MLG, and I think when they work with partners, is that they have a lot of, you could call it power, maybe influence. But I don't think that MLG would ever be like, we sign exclusive. I mean, look what they do when they broadcast. They're on Twitch and owned. And you normally see people just on one. So the fact is they're like, hey, big dogs. And they can do what they want. Stop looking at pictures in my interesting talking segments.
Okay.
So MLG going into Dota 2 with Game Battles, which is their online platform, is just them showing they have, first of all, interest. And also, did you see Sundance tweet, someone teach me Dota 2?
Yeah, that was Blitz Dota who actually picked it up.
Yeah.
Sundance was saying he was going to watch his stream and then Blitz would get him in a game or something and show him the ropes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
I think that Game Battles is like MLG's big kept secret? Because I mean that's big. They have a lot of players. They do, what I understand, make a lot of money. I guess I don't
Game
know how
Battles is. I can only imagine to be very profitable just because of the size of it and the amount of hits and what it can bring to people in terms of an easy ad sales, etc. In terms of agencies.
Yeah.
So it's a really good project
But
to have.
them putting on CS:GO and League of Legends and Dota 2 into these ladders, in making them putting it into the pro circuit.
No, it's testing the water.
It's hard to see, but I think Halo 4 and Black Ops 2 would be maybe more obvious choices than going CS:GO or Dota 2. But I don't know. Maybe they can have it all.
It's true. Did they ever release CS:GO on the consoles?
Pardon me?
Did they release CS:GO on the consoles as well, like they were supposed to?
That I'm not sure.
I do not know it as well.
Just know that it's out on Steam and that Trans raged at it. So that's about all I know about CS:GO.
Okay, also with MLG and Dota 2, they're going to be doing a prize fight.
Yeah, that's something that was tweeted. It's going to be happening tonight. Actually, if you want to tune in for that, 7 p.m. ET, so Eastern Standard Time, US. You can check it out at majorleaguegaming.com/prize fights, but they're having a show match between Complexity and Na'Vi for $1,000. So, yeah, somebody
In
tweeted
Dota?
about that. We're going to get into it,
Dota
and
2.
it is in Dota 2.
Is it MLG prize fight?
Yeah. So this is really where MLG would be like, how many people want to watch the best teams? Like, what can we peak at?
They're testing the water, man. They're testing the water.
And
That's
I
really
guess
what's
they'll
happening.
probably be doing that on their own 3D.
Didn't
be honest.
IPL call their show matches prize fights as well?
I think so too.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
something like that. I don't know.
Must be a US thing.
Okay.
Oh my god.
In other Dota 2 news, maybe a little bit of fun. Join Dota are organising the Dota 2 Staff Cup, where they didn't invite the Good Studio because they knew we'd win.
Yeah.
You pussy, Toby won. So the teams that are entering are Team Join Dota, Team Gosu Gamers, Team 4PL, English Casters, which is Toby, Draskell, LD, Gods, and AC, Russian Casters, Management Team, which has got Paisley from Mouse Sports. I don't even recognize where the other people work for under the management team. Fnatic RC Staff, which has got Street, who's the current manager, or general manager of Fnatic. No Name, who was the Warcraft 3 team manager for Fnatic, and I think he probably does some StarCraft and other stuff as well now. And then a random mix, which actually has Zero Gravity in it, from Na'Vi. So you can check that out and join Dota.
Two things to note on this.
.com.
Two things to note. Wepas is actually going to be replacing, I believe, Marcus on the manager team. So we're going to have...
What is Wepas the manager?
We're going to have good Wepas, good Yapas on the team. He's going to be competing in the tournament.
The only thing that Wepas manages is his mouse and keyboard, which he continues to play Dota 2 on all the time in the
that counts
house.
as managing.
It's after that million.
Dude, he's going to be playing in it. Also, I just want to say...
No
Toby,
one's ever
get
won a
carried
game with Wepas in an official game. It's impossible. And I've never lost an official game. And I thought, me never losing an official match in Dota and playing with somebody that's never lost, it's like, you know, the immovable object against the unstoppable, you know, force or whatever it is. And then if we play together, surely my powers be, we'll win. And we couldn't win. We couldn't win a game at Valencia DreamHack tournament. And Wepas is he's too powerful.
He was the one coming up with the strats. You guys did do Rosh level 1 against Fnatic.
He let me die.
He let you down.
He did.
Was he
No
put
one
out?
will ever win a game with Wepas in an official match. It's just a fact.
And I thought this lineup looked kind of funny and strong, and now
So you can check it out on joindota.com. It will be nice. We're also trying to organize, by the way, a Twitch US versus a Twitch EU Dota 2 show match, which will be, because basically what happens is like, okay, we run our own companies over here and we do work for Twitch. And so we're actually, me, Trance, Wepas, Scriff, that do all the building for the players' lounges, and also Semmler, who's our ringer. 5 of us are going to take on the best from Twitch US in a show match. And hopefully they're bringing in Elaine. You know, that Asian girl? Because she says that she's going to stomp us.
Yeah.
But whatever lane she's in, I'm going to be there. I'm going to fucking destroy her. And then they've got Josh, who was like a Hon player for SK or something. so like whatever. And
He's gonna stump you.
Hon Scrub. No. And then we're hoping they're going to bring in the gun run because he only plays Sand King, so we're going to ban that out. So we're going to try and organise that for the end of this month, and we're going to get some people to cast it. So if you want to see, basically it's like the Good Studio, but with Twitch EU as well. We do everything for Twitch EU over here. So it's Twitch EU versus Twitch US. So we're going to look for some casters at the end of the month.
What's up?
And we're going to stomp. And I'm just going to hunt Elaine down and make her feel really bad about herself.
He's such a nice guy, man.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
No, wait, we still have some.
No, we still moving. Dota 2.
Yes.
Star Ladder Season 3 has started. Of course, it's
underway.
underway.
For a little bit,
Yeah, so Season 3 is on its way. Star Ladder are really good. They're putting out 4 seasons a year. Each one runs for 3 months. They're putting up a good amount of prize money. Finals also in Kiev. So you've got your teams that you know. So Empire, M5, Quantic, Mouse, Na'Vi, Virtus Pro, Team EG, and Meet Your Makers. You did have CLG, but CLG dropped out. Pycat, Aki, and they were using 2 stand-ins in their games, and we're like, screw it.
Hasn't more team like dropped out from this because
Yeah,
it feels like Star Ladder came too close
Then
to
AL.
the international, so
Yeah.
teams hasn't. I think they need maybe 3-4 more weeks, maybe something like that, because it seems to establish now.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
I
teams
completely-
are starting to pick up, but Star Ladder was a little bit early.
I completely agree with you. We were talked about doing Dota 2 tournaments, and we were like, let's wait a couple of months before we even do something so the teams are stable again. But apparently 8 teams are going to advance to the LAN
That's exactly
finals,
right.
which is more than previous. So Star Ladder were only bringing in 4 previously to the LAN finals. So now they're going to have 8 teams.
They
So
weren't
it's-
bringing them in; they were basically inviting them.
yeah, inviting them. But the fact is, you have 8 teams at LAN rather than 4. So we'll see where that goes.
See
And
if
if the
Team
teams
EG
want to attend with, maybe it's the same prize money. I think it is like 15,000 or something.
Is this the list of the teams, or are they actually the ones
Yeah,
that are
this is
coming?
this is the top 8 standings right now.
Yeah,
in
right
Star
now.
Ladder.
It'll be interesting to see if EG decides not to go again. Didn't they not go
But
last time?
they backed out last time because it was too close to the international. Now they don't really have.
Officially, they said they didn't want to put
They
money
couldn't
there.
afford it or whatever, and they wanted to boot camp for the international. That was their reason. But
Yeah.
whether they go again or not, it depends on the prize money
We'll
as well.
see, I guess.
It's gonna be
What's
cool.
And if they have a team, aren't they trying to switch a player in EG with complexity?
Two.
Or is that all?
I
all
thought
news
there's
already?
going to be some moving around.
Yeah.
They're switching 2 players, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Yeah, so I agree. Star Ladder maybe a little bit early on starting its tournament, and that could have caused problem for the teams, but they're still ongoing, and it's getting bigger.
Scoot said yesterday that they're going.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So also in Dota 2, there was a post done by Dota Rise on Reddit entitled, "So you thought Dota 2 was getting large?" And you've read this, right, in terms of the breakdown? I can bring it up on my screen.
I included a TLDR in the document if you just want to tab that.
No, I don't. Not anymore, because we're on screen. But what's the too long didn't read version?
The too long didn't read version is there are several clients in China for Dota 1.
Yep.
On just one of those clients, 4.5 billion games were played in a year of Dota 1. Compared to League of Legends, where they said after a 3-year period they've posted 1 billion games played on their clients. Dota 2, however, has done 43 million games in the time that they've launched their beta. So it's just like, this was kind of just a fuck around topic on Dota 2, really just like bring it up and put things in perspective where, you know, League of Legends is vaunted as the biggest game in the world right now, when it actually, in fact, pales.
Yeah. Well, there was actually a talk within. I remember a figure while I was over at the international where they kind of guesstimated, well, not guesstimated, the Dota size and community, which was about 20 million. Which still isn't your 36 or over 40 now for League of Legends.
No, but that's active account. I don't know, created accounts, I think.
You sure? I thought it was the Dota community that we're talking about, because I actually think the Dota community could be bigger than that because of all
It
the
is.
stuff you can't.
How do you
G-Arena
how do
and-
you
and how you can't
size up-
track,
I
yeah,
mean, how
exactly.
do you measure it? It's crazy.
So
It's
anyway,
impossible.
it's an interesting read. If you go and search for just so
It's
you
in the
thought
Dota
Dota
2
2
it's in the
was
Dota 2
getting
Reddit.
large, submitted 5 days ago. You can go check that out. But basically, yeah, Dota very big. Will it transfer over to Dota 2 once it's fully released?
I mean, something that is cool is that if you go to Steam and you watch the stats, Dota 2 is always in the top.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And
They just
I
broke
mean,
100
it's not a
concurrent.
closed beta anymore, but it's more or less a closed beta because who pays €30 for a free game? I think someone said it like that, but I agree with it.
I mean, getting keys nowadays is kind of easy, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still the most popular game.
Yeah. They just cracked the 100K concurrent just a few days
Well,
ago.
no, they did that actually like days just after the international because of all the, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But it goes like on the weekends it goes over 100. But okay, so the Valve effect is the next topic.
That's not much bigger than 1.6 though in its glory days, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I think there's more to come.
Yeah,
so the Valve effect, there was on Reddit, there was something posted in terms of what looks to be a Valve slide, whether or not someone just photoshopped it. But this is lessons learned. And it was posted as in like Valve on their free-to-play model. Avoid pay-to-win in PvP. Avoid inventing an unnecessary virtual currency, which I actually quite like. I'm not really keen on virtual currencies.
I hate it as well.
I got kind of, even in Bloodline Champions, which I worked on, I really just hated coins.
Well, you had to do fucking math every time you wanted to
yeah.
make a purchase. Like, okay, what's the exchange rate right now? That's
Let
bullshit.
people have fun without paying, which was also something that they didn't do in Bloodline Champions. They said, here's 4 characters, try and have fun, but if you really want fun, you need them all, and Dota 2 give them all for free. People are more comfortable buying items than we thought, and that's something which, when everyone talks about monetization within games, it always sounds pretty harsh, but what Valve are doing is they're creating lots of different ways that you can spend your money. And they're not saying you should, but they're creating enough opportunities where they're saying, if you want to, we've created that option for you.
I think it's the same in World of Warcraft. Like, you really want to buy that extra amount just to have it because it makes you happy or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that first mount.
Yeah,
that
but
they
people,
put on sale when
like
there
you
was
say,
such an
people are
uproar.
comfortable buying stuff if they really want something. If they enjoy the game, why not?
But it really comes back to, I think, on the slide, that Valve should have been on the panel, just because of how they kind of think and design, and at the same time, they don't seem to be making mistakes. I like criticizing people normally, but sorry, I hate to turn into a Valve fanboy, but they just don't seem to be making mistakes on Dota 2. I think CSGO was,
That's a mistake.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think
we'll see what they do with it, but Dota 2, Valve are really on their shit.
I think the last point on the slide is probably the most interesting one.
Yeah, it's worth cut your community in on a
They're
deal.
basically creating a
Yep.
massive amount of affiliates for them.
It's affiliate?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a team that makes money out of selling
Well,
team
basically,
gear,
it's a similar thing to Steamworks. Basically, if someone uploads a skin or a model and someone buys it, you get 25%.
Yeah.
If someone buys a pennant for $1 to support your team, you get 25%.
so all of the teams and organization events, everyone's going to push.
But I don't
Push
think
for it.
pennants will be a good, like, it won't be stable enough. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we went to a tournament and we got $500.
Demos
but then
and
the
stuff
management
like
are going to be like, thank you very much. And the players, maybe they could have just been like, hey, anything you get on pennants for this tournament, you guys can have for like food money and drink money at the event. That's because it's something that isn't significant enough, in my opinion. I think the International will sell more pennants then than any other tournament to come, and it will go downhill until the next International.
Yeah, but not only the competitive side of things, but also the fact that you can create items.
Yeah,
This gives a great outlet for artists in the game as well.
Yeah, it does.
The only cool part about like the in-game stuff for me is like that you can put in your sponsors, and of course it's replace the spectator stuff. All that I love. The dependence I don't see as a.
It's a
Like,
cool,
for me, I don't.
It's
It's fun, but it's just feels like you put in like this cool feature and it doesn't really mean that much. Like it doesn't.
It's not.
it's
make
one of those
much.
nice to have features, but not
It's
need
not
to
that
have.
it doesn't
It's exactly,
make much.
but it's one of those. It comes back to what I said earlier. They create opportunities
Yes.
Yeah.
for the people, and some people will have a completely different opinion. Like, I love buying pennants.
You know,
Like,
I don't know
it
how many they
gets me
sold,
off.
but it was cool. Like for me, it was like which team has the biggest fan group
Yeah.
at the international, and that was a cool thing to follow for me.
Okay.
But that's the thing. It's like you're buying a jersey to represent your hockey team or some shit. You know, you want to support it. You want to show their colors. This gives you the opportunity in game. You can be like, I have my Na'Vi pennant. Everybody knows that I'm supporting them. Or you can see me as part of that figure at the top of the screen. I think that's great.
All right. So that kind of wraps up Dota 2. Obviously, follow Star Ladder, the Join Dota tournament. We're going to be doing stuff. Also, the Premier League is also going on. Premier League, I think they're in season 3. They're primarily on Twitch TV. So you can check them out as well. You can get a lot of your news from either Join Dota, Gosu Gamers, etc. So everyone's happy with the Dota 2 segment?
Yep.
One of our better ones.
All right. Let's move on then to StarCraft 2. So GSL Code S results first up.
Spoiler, if you haven't gone to Reddit or if you haven't watched live or the VODs yet, this is a spoiler. It's a pretty big one as well.
It's very considerate of you.
So, you know, just
Isn't
letting you
this
guys
a
know.
news show to some regard? I mean, like,
I'm just saying, you know, this is a big match.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think spoilers doesn't exist to
Alright,
me.
fine, fuck it. If you haven't watched it, tough shit. SKT1 Reign actually defeated Liquid Heroes 3-0 today. Liquid Hero fell 3-0 in the round of 8 of the GSL Code S to a Kespa player.
Yeah, but Rain is.
I mean, Rain is a monster. He's been tearing people up left and right, but for one of the favorites to go through to fall to him and a PvP specialist as well, it's just like, holy crap.
Did you see what the ESFI writer who is at GSL? What is his name now again? Anyway, he wrote that MVP after the game said something like this, that Rain has a lot to learn and he's going to do it after our game or something like that, you know.
Hey, dude, he's talking
This was
smack
like,
already.
yes,
But just
so
to
big
tie
words.
in, MVP actually defeated Symbol 3-1 as well. So we have our first round of 4 match. It's going to be the Kespa player going up against the multiple-time champion GSL player. It's going to be hard to beat that as far as hype goes. It's going to be such a sick match. So that's happening next week. So guys, you want to tune in for that. Yeah, I mean that's really just it. It's just like this Kespa hype. The fact that the Kespa players are improving so dramatically over such a short period of time, to see them defeating top dog GSL players like this in the Code S is a scary thought. It's really interesting to see how fast they're improving.
I kind of feel the GSL hype has died down a bit.
It has, and MVP, you know, that's another thing that's going on right now. The MLG MVP league that's happening. MLG aren't helping. You know, they're actually, you know, the reason why apparently the GSL players aren't actually participating in that is because Kespa was giving 24 player slots and GSL was only given 8. And they took that as a massive slight to them. They're like, well, we helped you, you know, develop your product by sending our players over to you to help develop your events, and you actually just kind of turn around and spit in our face and, you know, give more credit to Kespa to help the Kespa players. And
I'd love to see.
This is my rant, kind of, because it really pisses me off.
How is the OSL? I haven't been able to see that much.
Apparently the stream is horrible.
It's been alright. I haven't been able to watch it as much either, actually. It's more GSL that's been drawing my eye.
Should we get... I really want to get Apollo for these things.
Yeah, but Apollo's the same thing. He agrees with me on this point as far as the MLG is concerned, is that he just doesn't agree with how it's been run.
So recap it to me, because...
so you have 24 US and EU players, and you have 24 Kespa players. So Kespa Koreans. They're all playing against each other cross-server in best-of-1 matches. They won't... best of 1 matches cross-server. So if you have any lag issues, tough shit. You know...
so you got 24 US players,
24,
8 European.
No, it's 24.
No.
It's a mix. It's 24 North
It's like
American and EU.
the Kespa players
Have 24
have
versus the
one
world.
conference. So this is called the Kespa conference. Then you have small segments: Europe, US, and GSL players.
It's a
right?
2-game series.
And then they play against all the Kespa players to get the ranking. So all the Americans are facing the Kespa players. All the Europeans are facing the Kespa players, and the GSL players or ESF players are facing the Kespa players. And I think it's best of 2,
Best of 2, yeah.
which is not so dumb or strange. Just new to maybe.
So
StarCraft 2.
what's the problem here? Because I've got the format now.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I don't know.
The problem is that
They invited a shitload of Kespa players basically, and basically shat on the
GSL players like
also,
MVP and ST.
I mean, when they presented all of their players, it was quite funny because they named all the team names for Kespa players and sponsors and stuff, but then they basically had a random list of what they called MLG players, I think.
Yeah, they call the rest of the conference MLG players.
And only their
And they,
nicknames and nothing
under the
else.
MLG players, they listed GSL.
Yes.
GSL and American teams. And
So basically,
a couple of our players.
are we coming back to the whole thing where just MLG are really shit at PR?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, they lied in a sense because now they're coming back to pay-per-view as well.
And they
said,
kinda
when they said
their-
that they were moving away from the model. Now
I
they're
just
coming
want to
back
say, like,
They shadow the roots as well.
have any one of you bought the pay-per-view?
Nope.
Nope. But
Has
Yeah.
anyone in the stream bought the pay-per-view?
Wait, I'll check the stream chat. Has anyone here bought the pay-per-view
Because
for MLG?
I have not bought it, and it's because I don't have the time to see it. If I had time, I would actually like to see this. Like, it's so many great games.
That's a lot of no's.
That's a lot of no's.
So
There's a
fucking
few
great
yeses
games.
in there.
There's a few yeses sprinkled in, but
So
there's a lot of no's.
I have seen an account where they have who has it, so I've seen like a few seconds of a game. And I can just say that you go into the MLG site, you click on some game or something like that, then you get to the own 3D and the player like that. Then you have to go back to the MLG site, go through something, find a document where you have a code which you can enter into the own 3D player to get the game going. And that you have to do for each VOD. So you see the first game, and then like 1 day later you want to see the second game or something like that. You have to go through that process of 5 minutes trying to figure out how the fuck do I even start a game that I paid $10 for. Then when I was watching Nanima versus Yedong, game 2 was missing. You played game 2, it was just 25 minutes of a logo and music.
Oh,
Strange to me.
they know the role.
I saw some other game. It was a sucky game against someone. You know what happened? They have the logo really nice, like the players, the teams, everything looks really good. Then they cut into the producer guy, who like lays down and flips up his cell phone from his pocket or something like that. And I go like, what the fuck is this? You pay $10 to see these VODs, but they start with like 10 minutes of just intro music. So you have to like wait buffering. Then go. Okay, game didn't start. Go more. Go more. And to bash someone onto this player, you go with like HD and then full screen and fucking everything flips and you're like, what's going on? Like, and escape, try to get it set again and then watch the game. So for me, the experience of just seeing someone trying to show me a VOD from that is, okay, the one who bought this needs to be a genius to actually see what they bought for.
So,
I don't know.
I was going to ask the question, MLG, then working with Casper, going back to a PP pay-per-view model, do you feel, because we obviously don't know, we're out of the loop, but do you feel that's more of a Casper initiative or more of an MLG initiative?
There is something from Live on 3. MLG Lee had an interview with Slasher and Wheat and the crew back last week, and he claimed to say that Kespa were the ones who initiated it, who said, we want the pay-per-view model. But I still don't see that as an excuse. I still see that as MLG just backing out, basically, and saying, "Well, we'll go back on our word then." And
did they really give a word where they were
we can
saying
say
we're not ever going to do one again? I think if it makes sense, and I mean, obviously you want a partnership with Casper because those players are really what's going to make StarCraft 2 interesting now. Unfortunately for me, when I talk about StarCraft 2, it's like
All of says Kespa takes a cut from the PPV.
Of course
yeah,
they do.
of course
Casper,
Casper, take a cut from the PPV, but I think Casper are one of the biggest stories, and when their players are going to be the new biggest story within StarCraft over until maybe HOTS gets balanced and released, and it's what's going to matter in terms of an international scene.
Yeah. For me, I mean, all these people saying no, if they like StarCraft 2 and they haven't bought it, I think they are, I don't know, they're stupid beyond insane. Although now when I know the experience, after you paid your $10 to get to see the game you paid for, I cannot recommend it. But, Nanima versus Yedong is such a big game, although I think Axlav and Axeltos said it's a pretty huge game.
Else?
It's fucking one of the biggest game ever in StarCraft 2 for me.
Leper.
So to me, I think like the format is brilliant. Like
It's a show
I
match.
love these games. Keep it exclusive. You have to pay to see them. I don't see the problem with that. It's just people don't really seem to follow.
In the end, it's
And
a
all
show.
stuff.
It's a show.
Well, but
match
the
tournament
problem
in the
is,
end,
it's like, you can say you don't see the problem with it, but if you're presenting something to an audience and the majority of the people don't feel like they should buy it, or don't want to buy it, or it's kind of like, well, maybe you're still a little bit too early on PPV, but if you have enough people that will pay, then you're fine. But MLG, in my experience with the pay-per-view arena events, first one a lot of people bought, basically because they wanted to see what it was the first time round.
And it was good. It was a good experience. It was worth it.
But the second time round, it's when you do the same thing, people do kind of be like, I'm a little bit bored. And also the problem we have in StarCraft 2 is there's so much other content out there that competes with anything you do for free. So even if you miss a paid event, you can still be like, hey, I've still got so many other tournaments I can watch and storylines, etc. And that was actually kind of brought up in a way that at the Valencia panel, where they were talking about why not have a unified kind of tour where MLG is more of the US Open in golf, where they have these stops, but it's connected in terms of points and stuff, and then everything goes to grand finals, and at the grand finals, do you hold it at maybe like DreamHack Winter, and then have all the logos of all the other partners that were involved. So on the stage, you've got DreamHack, you've got MLG, you've got IPL, you've got NASL, you've got, and all these logos to say this is the World Finals, these are all the people that were involved. We're here at DreamHack because it's in maybe end of November, and that's a good time to finish it off. That's something that I would really like to see.
At the conference, I think that was one thing that everybody was agreeing on to some extent.
But I don't think anyone's going to do it. That's the biggest problem.
No, because it won't happen though.
It will never happen. It will never happen.
I think
unless someone basically starts from the top.
The only way it could happen, and this is why I always say developers, publishers. If the publishers said, "Hey guys, you want to run a StarCraft 2 event for your tournaments? We can give you these amount of opens or majors or minors or whatever you want," and then the developer says, if you want to run StarCraft 2, this is the format we're doing it in. So you're all going to have to work together. You're all going to get to work on your own events, but they're all going to connect. You're not going to overlap any events. You're going to go to the finals. Everyone's going to have their name. Blizzard will put in. Blizzard should just cancel.
You like what Riot is doing? Riot, to a big extent, doing what you're saying.
Yeah, but they're going so much more within the CGS way of saying we want to own it all. When actually the biggest advantage that Blizzard could have is, rather than run WCS, which is this world kind of finals, and it has all these stops, and they're already paying people to do these stops